My first company I started when I was 19. If you love coffee, Shanghai is better, but if you want to build a very solid technology company, Beijing is better.
One of the most important things for international startups expanding to the Chinese market is to understand the Chinese startup ecosystems. I have here Wahed with me. He's one of the experts who has a very deep insight on the Beijing startup ecosystem. And today we're going to learn about what he's doing and how he's helping international startups to grow in the market. Wahed, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to share about the startup ecosystem in Beijing. Especially in the last 2 years, I think it's becoming more and more vibrant. I'm really happy to share more about this ecosystem and invite founders from all over the globe to come, build, and grow here.
Cool. Let's first start. Why are you in China? What brought you here?
I came here for studies. I didn't have any proper plans, but that's the beauty of China. You always like one or two things about it. Then you move here, then you realize there's a lot of things that you actually love about China. So I came here to study, but I think this is a place where you have access to a lot of opportunities, especially in Beijing. It's such a beautiful city. It's very diverse. You meet people from all over the world. The food is amazing. The culture is amazing. It's just a really good place to live. A lot of the time when people go to a city, they think about job opportunities before they think about like the life quality. But for us, a lot of foreigners living here, I think it's just so fun and peaceful to live in Beijing. Then we figured out ways to how to stay here. So I think for me, I'm here because I just enjoy living in Beijing. But then aside from that, I think it's also a very good place to build businesses. It's a very good place to engage with the world and learn about innovation.
You're helping every year hundreds, if not thousands of founders to understand the Beijing startup ecosystem. If you think about who's the right profile, what kind of startup founders should come to the Chinese and Beijing market, and who should maybe stay away?
Right now, Beijing is very suitable for startups who wants to build together with China. For example, a team that already have a very solid idea, but they want to have access to talents, to infrastructure, to resources available, especially when it comes to research and development of new technologies, who wants to build MVPs in here, who wants to figure out new technologies that can be very impactful. This is the best place to be here because you have access to everything that you need at the palm of your hand, very, very easy. That's one of the companies that should be here, especially in AI sector, manufacturing, smart manufacturing, digital infrastructures. All of these are startups that will benefit by tapping into this ecosystem, by collaborating with Chinese companies. That's one of the most important things to be here. Everyone is welcome in here. I will not advise for companies not to come, but when they come up, they should come up with the mindset that they not only just go growing their business in China and trying to get access to this market, but they should come up with the mindset of like how I'm able to learn, leverage the resources in here and build together in here. So first I can serve the clients in China and hopefully later on I can take my business to the rest of the world. It's much more like a pit stop. It's like a small little workshop in here that you come, evolve your product, evolve your business, and then you go back to the world and grow it outside China as well.
And is this both for bigger companies, bigger startups, or smaller ones with just an idea? What do you think?
China is the second biggest economy in the world, and it is a country of 1.4 billion people. So there's opportunity for every single type of business, whether it's a small, whether it's big. It's just there are different approaches and there are different goals, and you have to figure out different ways to navigate. There's opportunities for all types of startups, whether it's like somebody, even like I will highly encourage people at very early stage of their businesses, even with idea stage, they can come, learn, and build a product in here or build a business in here. That will be an amazing learning experience and learning journey for anybody who wants to have this opportunity to give it a try.
Beijing is big. There are 20, if not 25 million people here, depending on how you calculate. Where in Beijing should people go? There are different districts with different focus areas. What do you think is the most relevant hub or entry district for international founders to get here?
Beijing is very big. Sometimes it takes you 1 hour to go from one district to another. But the best starting place for founders who are coming, I think Chaoyang will be a very good place to go, because this is where a lot of embassies are in here, a lot of international talents, a lot of commerce chambers. All of them are clustered in Chaoyang. That will be a very interesting thing. But in Beijing, it's not just about finding the right district, it's finding the right platforms and right events and right ecosystem. So for example, ITEC is a good example of it. If you want to tap into ecosystem that focuses on digital economy, air infrastructure, all of it, then ITEC will be a very good starting place, right? If you want to also try HICOOL, then you also have access to some other type of industries and industry parks available across the whole area. But then you also have Haidian, which is like a very big innovation hub in whole China, the Silicon Valley of China, the Zhongguancun area in here. There's different places available for different types of entrepreneurs, but I think instead of thinking about the district, think about the entry points. And then events was one of the best entry points to entering the market in here.
Beijing is a capital of a big country.
Yeah.
Is it as international as other capitals like Berlin or Paris? How is the international community here? Is it active in China, in Beijing, or is it more difficult to find?
It's a different type of international. One of the things that I say, I think Beijing is the most complete city in the whole world. It's the only city in the world that has more than 90 universities, and out of that 90 universities, 50 of the top universities of China, or like 50 of the best universities of Asia, is located within 5-10 kilometers of each other. So that's something very unique. Imagine you have a Stanford, Harvard, and MIT all within 3 kilometers away from each other. So that's really interesting about Beijing, right? Then you have technology hubs in here, whether it's like Yizhuang that's focusing on autonomous driving and biotech, you have a lot that is focusing on internet, and then you have Chaoyang that focuses on finance and infrastructure, right? So then you also have a very strong tech sector in Beijing, but then you also have a very vibrant media and culture ecosystem, and then you also have the diplomatic center in here. So it's probably the most complete capital in the whole world. It's a different version of internationalization. Here you will not only have access to other foreigners, but you will have access to investors, to commerce chambers, to embassies, to global funds, to Fortune 500s. In that way, Beijing is very different from other international capitals, but it's also very unique in that way. Mm-hmm. You also have all the state-owned companies in China, all the very advanced or some of the giant corporates of China also located in Beijing. This is where everything comes together. This is where the whole world sometimes gather in here to engage and work together.
And how important are state-owned enterprises, the government in all of this? Does it play a bigger role than in other countries maybe? How important is the government?
China is a policy-driven economy, and the way that a lot of the time the resources are managed or how the market is regulated, state-owned companies play a very integral role. Sometimes they play the role, really large VCs, they have some of the biggest investment funds in China, so they themselves invest and build supply chains for different industries. But they're also the place where they can give you a direction of where the economy is heading toward, what kind of industries will be developed. And right now, China is heavily encouraging state-owned companies to no longer just be a company, but become like an investment innovation fund to support and empower up and rising companies to collaborate with private companies and bring them into the fold, give them access to upstream, downstream supply chain, and just figure out ways to have these as guiding principles and guiding players on building a very market-oriented and private, sustainable economy.
You help a lot of international entrepreneurs. What are the major mistakes that the startups are doing when they come here, looking at the bigger international environment of Beijing? What are common mistakes that you see that can be avoided?
When a lot of founders come, they still think Beijing will be very similar to other places around the world. They think it might be very similar to Hong Kong or to Singapore or to London and all of it. Beijing is very unique, or China is very unique. You really need to first learn. Come here, first learn. Before even thinking about, I want to grow my business, I don't think you should have that intention at first. Just come here, observe, look things for yourself, see how things plays out in here. The second thing is things moves very fast. Technology develops fast. You have so many brilliant people working in the same sector as you. Your IP or your idea might not be the most unique thing that you will bring here with yourself, but what you bring here is your perspective, how you position your company here, how you're able to build networks with people, and how you're able to absorb resources through your networks and leverage them to grow. You need to have a strong strategy perspective on growing here rather than just trying to figure things out. If you come up here to learn first and then slowly learn how to localize and learn from the experiences of other founders, I think that will be a very interesting point. Instead of allocate this budget and then I will hire a consulting firm and just give it a try. That doesn't work anymore.
How do you help international founders? What are the things? Do you have a platform? Do you do consulting? What are the steps how you support international founders?
There's a few ways that we help founders. Number one, we manage and organize one of the biggest entrepreneurship competition called ITEC. I serve as the Director for International Affairs. With ITEC, we provide you all the basic resources you need in order to start your business, including cash subsidies, cash prizes, office space, access to policies, access to industry. And right now we're opening application scenarios where foreign founders can test their products and get like a market validation and also get clients and deals. Our winning prize for ITEC is 5 million RMB. Each year we give around 50 million RMB or roughly $7 million in cash prizes. The second thing is actually behind me. We have a 5,000 meter square co-working space specifically designed for foreign founders who wants to grow. At the center of Chaoyang, is just 2 minutes away from the CBD, a very beautiful and vibrant area, and we want to build a community of founders who wants to come here, work together, grow. And last but not the least, we have recently established an exclusive platform for foreigners called the Startup Alliance, that we want to be your interface to the startup ecosystem. And then whatever you need in order is policy, housing, access to market, all of it can be accessible for you in a Startup Alliance. So these are the platforms that we offer for founders, and we're more than happy to be your servers and your guide to growing here.
Cool, thank you. There's a lot of discussion out there. Do you go to Shanghai or Beijing or Shenzhen? What do you think is the best choice, Shanghai or Beijing?
If you love coffee, Shanghai is better, but if you want to build a very solid technology company, Beijing is better. Beijing is the upstream of technology innovation in China or even in whole Asia. A lot of early stage prototypes, a lot of early stage innovation always happens in Beijing and slowly trickles down to south, maybe in Shanghai, Hangzhou, Shenzhen, and other areas. The whole reason for that, you have the best universities of China all located in Beijing. You have Tsinghua University, you have Peking University, you have Hong University. All of the best universities are here. All of the amazing talents of China is gathered in Beijing. That's something very unique that Shanghai and Shenzhen, I don't think, possess it at the moment, and it will take them quite some time. That's why I think Beijing is the upstream of technology, so you want to start from here.
At what age have you started your business first here in China?
My first company I started when I was 19.
19?
Yes.
And how many businesses have you now started?
Lost count of it, I would say 3 startups. And then right now, if you say how many companies I'm involved in, probably 3 or 4.
That's impressive. And one more thing, some people are afraid of China because they think they need fluency of Chinese.
Yeah.
Do you think Chinese is helpful? It's mandatory? Should international founders learn it first to come here? What's your take on that?
Chinese is definitely helpful, but I don't think it's mandatory. What matters most is how you understand China, because language is just a tool, it's a medium for you to understand things. But if you have ways, techniques to learn and learn how China works, how China develops, how people engages, how we build trust here. If you understand the cultural nuances, language is secondary.
Okay. Last one, you started here as a student.
Yes.
Do you recommend international students also to dive into entrepreneurship right away here in China? What would you say?
Every year, so far now, more than 30,000 foreign students study in universities in Beijing. And we actually have another nonprofit called Alumni Talent Alliance and an entrepreneurship development center for students who wants to pursue entrepreneurship here. Probably the best thing that you could do with your time in China is study and do entrepreneurship at the same time. The policy exists here. You can have access to entrepreneurship visa as a student. You have a lot of amazing programs. Even we have a program called Venture Builders that you can come and learn for 6 weeks for free and then build your business here. The good thing about this is your risk are very low, your costs are very low, and then you can learn and build businesses here. Even in worst case scenario, if you fail as a student entrepreneur, you will be a successful manager or a builder or a person of value to your community and your company that you will join in future.
Cool.
So it's the best option to learn and build at the same time.
Thank you, Wahed. We are diving in every interview into different cities, introducing very important people to you that know the startup life in China from an international perspective. Wahed is one of the experts that I would recommend any of you to get in contact with if you want to learn about Beijing and Chaoyang and about ITEC startup competition. And if you want to bring your startup here, have a co-working space here, and be part of a very vibrant startup community, come and meet Wahed. There are no better people to know than the people that are working here in this space.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. And see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.